Welcome back to the Indiana Garage, and we're slowly getting our 72 Duster video series up to date. There's nothing really happening with it right now, so you're not missing anything, and whatever we do have in the meantime will get updated on that series. But we're going to continue on with our 71 Satellite Sebring Plus. This will be part 2. Original FC7 in Violet. Dodge called it Plum Crazy. That's the more popular name, I guess. Had a wide interior and a 383 two-barrel originally. And we're going to restore this car just like we did this one. This car was actually in worse shape by far than this car is now. Okay, but there's still some pretty rough stuff on this car. We're going to address the worst of it here in this episode. And that's going to be the rotten cowl. And you can see we have some torn up metal. I've already removed it. But this was very rotted. It's still rotted in underneath this. This is the back half of the upper cowl panel. And that upper cowl panel, you can see it kind of wraps down here, goes down, and there's this seam along here. Goes up and around. And you can kind of see it highlighted on this salvaged 72 piece. Goes across here. There's the lip, see where I put them like marker stitch marks on it. And then it kind of disappeared over here. Well, since this was bad, and we have what's left of an original number, I think, for the VIN right there. And this is actually better here than this one. But this part up here, which is what this panel came off of, there, that was in far better shape than this one was. Now, it still needs a little bit of work. We do need to blast it or dip it. And then we need to, where this green tape is, this signifies where the metal needs to be extended. There's that shape there, because it had rotted off right here. Well, I took the template off of it, and we know what we need to add on this in order for this to go back on. So I've used many spot weld drills, and we have removed on this side, along this rail, and this one, which when you get to kind of peeling it off, it came out this way. I was a little more hasty with this one because it's junk. You can see the back side of it and see the clean metal versus the bad metal. So that's there. This one, when I cut it off, I was very careful and meticulous. And so this will, I'll set it here for the moment. There's that cowl panel, okay, or a section of the cowl panel. Now, like I said, before any of that can go on here, we have sections under here which need to be addressed. This is pretty good down through this. I guess you'd call the back side of the cowl or the under cowl, lower cowl maybe. That's probably part of the lower cowl. And we can salvage a lot of these areas right here off of this one. This one's actually in good shape. And especially this one. This one has a gaping hole in it right here. And part of the lower cowl is ate up there. So you have a lot going on right here. This section, that's where the part of the trim, the screw goes down in there. So that's ate out. So we need to replace about where this line is drawn. I have that line drawn there. That's where this one cuts off. So you can see this is in much, much better shape. But there's still rot on that one. So we kind of have a piecemeal type thing here. This one was the one, the other half of that. And you can see where it fit right there. And I just peeled it loose once I got the majority of the spot welds out of the way. Now this here, I have a mark drawn because once that's off, it really gives you, it kind of makes this fit like a glove. You have a little bit of obstruction with where it's going to replace. But I do things like, for instance, see this is not lined up, so you're going to obviously move that over. If you lift that up, you'll see that hole right there for the cowl, the grill, okay, for the cowl. Well, this, I run a nail through it, and it lines up. It's like an alignment thing. Do it there. Make sure we're across here. I clamped it down nice and snug, and then I took a scoring, scribe, I should say, and dragged it across here. Made sure everything was back against there good. Then I took a marker for you all to see it easier, and so all the way across there. So when you lift this off, there is what we need to cut out. And I just went path of least resistance. So obviously this is all the same, so you just have to, I went through the channel here, went around that hump. Here I went this direction just to kind of go parallel, shortest distance for welding, and then I went across that little ridge there and over and across. That's why I cut it. It's probably the least amount of welding in order to graft it back into this piece. And then obviously where we drilled spot welds, we can reuse those to refasten it once we get all this cleaned up. Let's go to another thing that we need to fix, and we'll probably fix it at the end of this episode if we get time to fit it in. Otherwise, we're going to worry about this, but I'll just take a break from this and show you what we got back here. So the problem back in here is, I guess a long time ago, somebody used this vehicle as a truck, and they removed these braces here. These are not the original braces. They actually come from the same car as that cowling up there came from. It was the 72 Roadrunner. So they bent all this up. That's all intact. Just needs to be kind of dollied back straight. Push it down, you know, get it all straight. And then I need to, you can see where the witness marks where it used to sit, and they busted the metal here when they tore them out. We do need to remove what's remaining of the old ones. And you can see I have the spot weld. Pock marks are marked, so we can drill those, and then the same thing there. So we need to remove those. I do have reference marks on the pieces, because when Kyle at RT's Mopar Salvage cut these out, he just kind of chopped them out for me so that I can do the rest. But this mark here and this one signifies the edges of this. And then these little marks here signify where they fall in here. Plus you have a witness mark.
What's that over the car?
That is the fuel filler tube. So you put your gas in there and it goes into the tank. What do you think?
Yes. Check.
Check. So that's what we got to do there. And the work there is really going to just be drilling out. I probably need to remove this bracket, at least temporarily. We can get, I think there's another one right behind there. So we can drill those out. That should crack free. And then we'll start cleaning up some of this up and then putting those in where they belong. And that'll solve a pretty big problem that we have there with this car. All right, so I just went through and cut off where I put that scribe and that line down through there. I figured I don't need to show you all that like I have in the past. It just gets kind of monotonous. Unless there's something it's a technique where I have to get it in a certain way, then I'll show you. I just use a fresh blade or fresh cutting wheel, and we're good from there. So let me turn this around. I'll cut it all the way across here. You do got to stay on one side of the line or the other. Wherever I scribed it, I cut on this side of the line over here. That way, we do want a little bit of a gap. Maybe not quite that much as what's showing there, but when you piece the other one in there, you should have a little bit of a gap. That way, when you weld it, the weld penetrates the gap and fills up the backside. You don't have a surface weld, and then when you go to grind it out, it goes away. So we have this. So you look. Collapse that. Now what I will do, this will have to come off. Where my fingernail's kind of riding in there, that'll have to come off, but that is spot welded into place. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take our cutting wheel, I'm just going to cut it around here. If we reference this one here, we know that we're not going to hit anything down there if we come over just a little bit. So I could come over about right here and connect that. This will break away. Then all we have to do is maybe chisel this away, or we could take our grinder and cut it away. I'm pretty much due for a new spot weld cutter, so those have pretty much been exhausted. But here, this is all waste, and I can just kind of grind it away and just carefully peel it back to where I have whatever's under here and here all combined, because there's about 3 or 4 layers right here in this spot. So we want to be careful with that. We're going to do the same thing over there, and then we'll remove that, and then we'll start chipping this out. I'll jump back in here when I get this pretty much cleared or in the next step. So we see it's dark outside now. I did take a break in here, but we do have some pretty good progress. There's a piece of paper, like some craft paper, I cut to basically reestablish the corner of the bottom lower cowl. So it comes over here. This is just sitting here right now. I've got it trimmed in pretty good. I have a slight larger gap than I like there. This is all pretty good, and you'll have to lift it up and get your gap there. So a lot of that will come into play, but it's sitting under good because there's a tab underneath here you have to drill the spot welds out when you take it off of here and then want to break the old one off. Had to kind of eliminate that, but otherwise it's all like a perimeter attachment. Okay, so this took a little bit because it's going to get a couple bends and it gets part of the channel, then it transitions into a flat like right here. So when we make the piece, we'll have to kind of massage it into place. So this will lap on top of this where this line is. So right there, it'll kind of cup down in there and reattach about like so. Okay, so there's basically the foundation of this passenger side for us to put the cowl back on, other than, you know, treating some of this rust where everything's going to attach. Over there, yep, that's a different thing. So let's take a quick look here. Since all this is opened up now, if I do this with one hand, obviously we want all this stuff to line up. Let me move the angle grinder. All right, if I get this on there, lay it into place. Get my hand out from under it. Of course, it obviously needs pinned into place. But that's pretty much, and it moved there. But that's kind of the sum of it there, okay? That pretty much fixes that once you take care of what needs taken care of. Nothing more, nothing less, other than that little piece there. Now over here, I kind of went over it. Similar issue. I kind of talked about it earlier, but I'm going to probably knock this corner out. That way I can establish this again, this tab or flange that wraps around here from here on up, and then it has to tie back up into here somewhere. Yeah, so we'll have to, there's a little bit more going on over here, okay? There's this, this is very, very pitted. It's probably, if you hit it with a screwdriver, it'll bust some holes through. This is gone here, that's where a screw hole is supposed to be. So we'll have to do a little bit more on this side. And like I said earlier, the hole there. And I think we are good. When we get down in there, just we'll vacuum all this debris out and see what we got. But big part of it's done. Really, we've done I won't say the hardest part. We've done the bulk of the hardest part. This one will probably be a pretty good challenge because there's some depth going on there. There was probably a tree hanging over this for a long time or something. Caused all of this. So it looks like I might just cut this off right here because we need you all to come back for the next episode. It'll be a part 3 on that one, because I was thinking, well, maybe we can get all this knocked out and get those braces in the back done, but I don't see that happening. And I'd like to try to make these just a little shorter for your entertainment value, I guess. And especially if you're looking to do this area on your car, you don't want a big long video to kind of drag through. So hopefully this will help you in your restoration. And remember, a lot of this applies to e-bodies too. They may not have the exact part, but the general construction plan on them is the same. The way the cowl fits in over the A-pillar and the upper, or I should say the lower cowl, this is how it works. Okay, so this could really be used as a guideline, baseline for you to do that. So we're going to cut it off here. Thanks for coming to the Indiana Garage. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you got. And we'll see you next time on the Indiana Garage.